Time for another board game review, and this time we have the game Wormholes. This was sent to me by AEG, and is designed by Peter McPherson. As the captain of a passenger spaceship with a wormhole fabricator, you can become the best in the business by building a robust network of wormholes. Link the farthest reaches of space while delivering passengers to become the most successful captain in this golden age of spacefaring. Use nebulas, wild wormholes, and black holes to navigate a galaxy that changes every time you play. Whoever earns the most points by connecting planets and delivering passengers wins. Let me show you how to play. So in Wormholes, you are the captain of a passenger ship. You're trying to create wormholes to travel around the galaxy. Now, when there are wormholes next to all planets, play continues for 3 more rounds before the game ends. The player with the most points is the winner. At the start of the game, you start near this space station here, and you put down your first 1 wormhole. On your turn, you have 3 energy you can use. You can use these tokens to track how many energy you've used. It can be important because sometimes you might have to start and stop during your turn, so you can remind yourself how many actions you have left, essentially. You don't have to use all your energy each turn, but you can't save them between turns. You also have a pickup token. This lets you remind you of if you have picked up passengers or not. You can also do free actions. We'll get into that later. So on your turn, you may spend 1 energy to move your ship to any adjacent space. So this, boom, 1 energy. You can move into spaces with other players' ships or a wormhole token. You can't move through asteroids, planets, the sun, anything that's a solid sort of thing you cannot move through. Now here are some free actions that you can do at any time. Let's say my red ship was over here. You can place a wormhole token at any time. So I could put one here. You can place it on any blank space without a wormhole token. Even other players' ships can be on that space. And it has to be adjacent to either or on the space that you are currently on when you do it. Now, you may not have more than 1 of the same wormhole token adjacent to the same planet or the space station. And once you place these down, you can't move them or remove them. And you always have to place them in order. So you place on your 1s first. You have 10 total, going up like pairs up to 5. And once you place 2 of the same number, then a wormhole is created. You flip them over, and now these wormholes are connected and active. If a player places a wormhole token adjacent to a planet with no other adjacent wormhole tokens, you earn the top exploration token from the stack. So these planets that are all around the board, like let's say the green ship went here first and plopped down a wormhole. Since they are the first player to do that next to that planet, they get this exploration point. In this case, it's 1 point. There's a certain number of these depending on the number of players, and as you can see, they go up in value over time. The meat of the game is warping through wormholes. A free action, you can move to your wormholes pair. So I could go 1 and zoop. That is a free action. That does not count as an action. If you use someone else's wormhole, then that owner gets 1 point from the supply. So you get rewarded if other people use your wormholes, which is handy. You can warp through wormholes any number of times on your turn, and no one can stop you from using their wormhole. You can also use your own wormholes freely, but you don't get any points for doing so. Another free action you can do is you can drop off all your passenger cards from your hand showing that planet. We'll get into how you get these passengers in a second. Actually, let's explain it now. So, once per turn, when you are adjacent to a planet or the space station, you may pick up passengers. First, you may discard any number of cards from your hand, and then you draw new cards. If you're discarding cards, they're always face up. At the start of the game, you'll have a certain number of cards to start with. You can see they have specific planets on them. And when you decide to discard, they go face up in the space station docks area. So let's say I discard, I don't know, both of these. You discard them face up in separate piles so people know what has been discarded. If you pick up cards while you're next to a planet, then you draw cards until you have 4. So I would draw, boop, and then I have 4 cards. If a drawn card matches the planet that you are already adjacent to, you must discard them. In this case, I'm okay, since they don't match that planet. But if I had drawn any cards of that planet, I would have to discard them, because that's too easy. The reason why you're picking up these cards is you're trying to drop them off as a free action. So if you go to that planet, let's say I had these two, and I made it all the way over here, I could reveal all the cards of that planet that I have, put them in a face-down pile. Each dropped-off passenger is worth 2 points at the end of the game. There is also a galactic tour bonus. At the end of the game, you'll earn 3 points for every different planet beyond the first 5 on your dropped-off passenger card. So, for example, if you travel or deliver to 7 different planets, you'll get 6 points because that's 2 planets beyond the 5. Going back to picking up passenger cards, if you are next to the space station, you can take face-up cards from up to 2 different planets from whatever has been discarded. So that can be handy of going, okay, I see some cards that nobody wanted. Well, I'll grab 2 different planets worth of cards. And this pickup action, whether it's next to a planet or a space station, can only be done once per turn. Whereas dropping off passengers can be done multiple times. You can end your turn at any point. Usually you do it after you spend all 3 energy and draw your cards. And that's just how a typical turn goes. And so as you place down more wormholes, you'll have more options for teleporting around the board. So if I had one here and one here, you know, that's a pretty short one, but that's just another example. Now, once you get through the stack, basically when enough people have explored a planet for the first time and you reach the planets connected token, then everyone has 3 extra rounds, and you finish until everyone has an equal number of turns. So this will track how many rounds are left. There's also a rare case where if you go through the entire deck, then you finish the current round and play 1 more. Then you count up your points, any exploration tokens you got for exploring planets first, point tokens from people using your wormholes, all the cards you dropped off, and galactic tour bonus, and whoever has the most points is the winner. If there's a tie, whoever delivered more passengers is the winner. Now this map is randomized and they have different sides, so you can, you know, randomize it each time, but let's go over some of these like special features. You can play a base game of Wormholes that doesn't have these special features, but you can also, you know, pick and choose or randomize. So orbit, anything that has this sort of dotted line or dashed line around it, you can move from any space in that orbit to another space for only 1 energy. So I could go like, bam, in 1 step. I don't know why you would do that, but you could. The big ring planet over here, or up there, you may place any number of wormhole tokens adjacent to this planet. Normally you can only place 1 of your wormholes next to it, but this one you can put more than 1 if you want. If you're on a nebula space, you can go to any adjacent space, either one of these or something without spending energy. These are wild wormholes. You can see they have a number next to them. When you go onto one of these, you can warp to one of your active wormholes of the same number. So if my 4s were on the board, I could go from here to here. You can also go from here to the wild as well. There is the photon cannon. How this one works is if you move onto a photon cannon, as a free action, you can launch yourself as many spaces as you choose in a straight line of adjacent hexes in any direction. You must move at least 2 spaces, and you may move through obstacles, but you cannot stop on them. So if I go onto here, I could just shoot myself here, for example. Black holes like this one, when you move onto a black hole, you must immediately reveal the top card of the passenger deck and place your ship on any space adjacent to the planet on the card. Then you discard it to the dock. So if I draw this card, that means I gotta go next to that one. And then this would get discarded next to the space station. And that's the game. You basically go around. I had to change the board a bit to show some of those special spaces so it looks a little different. But yeah, you use your wormholes to teleport around and pick up cards, deliver them to the planets, and try to explore and get points. And that's the game. So this is a great example of a game that takes one simple, fun concept and makes it work. Teleporting around the galaxy using the wormholes is inherently fun. It's fun to make moves that get you in so many places at once and maximizing points. It's fun getting rewarded if other people use your wormholes. The racing to explore planets first is satisfying, and it even has like a fun collection bonus if you can get all of them. The game doesn't overstay its welcome. It's breezy, it's fun. I've said the word fun about 1 million times, but that just goes to show that the game truly is that, fun. More games need to be like this. They don't muddy or overcomplicate the game. It can be picked up right away, and you have a good time. I really enjoyed this one.